This is the Zoom75, Meletrix take on the 75% form factor, competing with the likes of the QK75 and Jris75. But what sets it apart from the rest will ultimately be the reason you'll want to wait for the rerun of this. Let's dive deep into the Zoom75 and find out if its asking price of $199 is worth it. Let me preface this by saying that this proto unit was sent over by Meletrix for an honest review, and the items in my unboxing will not be the same as the one in the group buy ones. But moving on, in the nicely themed Great Wave box, we first got all the accessories such as the 2U knob kit, badge, as well as the 2U standalone key switch PCB. On top, we see a huge compartment for the 2U LCD as well. Moving over, we got the Zoom75 bag with a beautiful artwork printed on it. Again, this costs extra, but the attention to detail on this is so nice. Inside the box, we get heaps of parts, including the Flex Cut PCB I got for the proto unit, the standard PC plate with tons of flex cuts on the alphas, as well as the modifiers, not to mention the heaps of foams that we'll take a look at later. Under all of those are the battery and included stabs in the box, the red gaskets, which will be different in the retail unit, the various screws and tools that will be used in the build, and lastly, an included color cable. Finally, the moment we're all been waiting for. I got mine in this e-coat navy colorway, and I'd say it looks so stunning. It borrows some resemblance with the Zoom75 redesign, as you can see on the back, with the mirror gradient glass as well as the centered weight. Enough of unboxing, let's talk about what sets the Zoom75 apart from the rest of the 75% in this price range. The Zoom75 inherits the compact 75% layout, seen less often on these types of keyboards. The main difference of this layout is that the navigation row, as well as the arrow keys on the right, isn't separated with the rest of the keys, making it much more compact than your traditional exploded 75%. A bold move for them that I personally like, as I don't like the looks of an exploded 75. Looking over at the top, we could see that it merits some resemblance to the Jelly Epoch layout, having a blocker in the navigation column that is also a spot for the badge on the higher end SE or Special Edition unit. That, by the way, has an anodized case and reflective chamfers, as opposed to this electrostatic coated navy board. Tangents aside, moving on top, we could see the compacted function row, all in hopes to squeeze in the 2U modular PCB on the top right. As yes, with this board, you could be able to change it for an F13 and F14 key, an F13 plus a knob, a solid badge, or the one I chose, which is a 2U LCD. More on that in a bit. Moving over the design and build quality, I have no complaints on this unit. As for the price, you're getting a spot-on and clean unit out of the box. On the center of it all, we have the aforementioned 75% layout with a noticeable cherry lip on the front. On the sides, we could see a nice side profile, borrowing the design from the Zoom65 with a seamless two-piece construction, being flanked by the Type-C port in the rear center of the board. On the back, we could see the 4 easily removable rubber feet that hides the screws into the case, a better implementation than the 65's hidden screws. And in the middle of it all is the mirror PVD weight as well as the blue gradient glass back. That is a fingerprint magnet. Safe to say, you'll be needing a lot of microfiber cloth for this one. Luckily, it's on the back, and you wouldn't see it most of the time. Glossing over the AC build for this, I built mine up with no foams, the internal weight installed, as well as the 2U LCD flanked on top. The switches are the WS heavy tactiles on the PC plate, and you might have heard it already on my previous video. If you haven't, there's a link up top for that. But for this video, I've decided to just include the foamed up sound test for your reference. In my opinion, even without foams, this packs a punch. I always thought of Meletrix boards, and even QK boards at that, as boards that need the foam, but the Zoom75 begs to disagree. I've been using this foamless for the past 2 weeks, and I have no complaints of the sound. It sounds so nice and delightable. All my praise is even with the Flex Cut PCB that offers multitudes of hot swap options for the newcomer into this hobby. I got mine currently with the Changan layout on the bottom as opposed to the typical ANSI step caps lock, as step is the best caps lock, as well as Team HHKB backspace, which lowers the backspace to the pipe key. The only thing that made it better is taping up the flex cuts, but other than that, I did no mods on this keyboard and left out the foam entirely. A note on this, by the way, is that my Proto has a non-RGB PCB, but retail ones will have perky RGB and tri-mode connectivity. From experience, I got more than a week of battery life with this keyboard, and that's even with only one battery. Retail units are supposed to have 2. No connection issues on my part as well, even with my Logitech MX Master connected in parallel. Sadly, there's still no software for the 2 UNLTD that I have with me, but I'll quickly cycle through the possible status this can display once connected to the computer. As per the norm in this kind of budget, the board is a gasket mount design with heaps of flex cuts on the PC plate and PCB, and it does the job well. The gasket implementation and installation was nothing but short of easy, and I hope Meletrix makes other mounting options on this keyboard. I want this board with a top mount design next time. Starting at $179 for the wired only variant, stocking up to $199 for the Essential Edition I have here, and $259 for the Special Edition. I could see this board skyrocketing in sales in no time, and that's what happened. 2 days after I got my unit, Meletrix had to close down the group buy as it has reached the soft cap of 10,000 units already. Looks like Meletrix hit a home run with this one, and it's well deserved. This board is truly different, from its modular design, screwless and seamless implementation, and glass back, all at an affordable price. It's no wonder it sold out quickly. Weighing in at 2.3 kilograms belt, I wouldn't bring this to Manila as my daily carry keyboard for coding, but it will surely replace my Tiger Lite as the main board in front of my desktop, and that's for a long while. If you haven't seen other takes on this keyboard, I highly encourage you to watch my fellow Filipino content creators such as Merk Gibbs, Zaclane, RX, and Doc as we give our own opinions on the Zoom75. But in conclusion, if you could get this board in a second-hand market for cheap, or if Meletrix opens some extras or a rerun on this board, I'd say grab it and you won't regret that purchase. What do you think of the Zoom75? Is it something that intrigued you at the start of the group buy? Let me know down below. I'm John J. Bimaba, and I'll see you in the next video.